Hello there. It has been almost a year since my last Star Wars video, and being that May the 4th is today, if I upload this video on time, I felt it appropriate to do another Star Wars video, and this time, my lovely wife is joining me to help. And of course, our cat is also joining us. Now, darling, what would you say on a scale of youngling to Jedi Grandmaster? How would you rate your knowledge of Star Wars lore? Well, you have youngling, Padawan, apprentice, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, Jedi Grandmaster, and then there's other specialty ranks. I just want to know, where do you gauge your Star Wars knowledge?
Youngling. I just wanted you to list all those ones out.
How much Star Wars have you seen?
I've seen all the Star Wars stuff. I think I'm a good representative of the casual Star Wars viewer.
Okay.
Of like
so
someone who really
from my
likes it.
memory, we've watched all of the films, all of the live action shows, but you've not watched Clone Wars or Rebels.
Yeah, we started to.
Okay. We'll need to catch her up on that. Okay, so where would you rate now your knowledge of firearms?
Against my will, I know a few things.
Okay. But like if I just showed you a random picture of a gun, would you be able to tell me what it is?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Great, because what we're doing today is we are playing Guess the Blaster. Ready? Hold on one more time. Ready? Guess the
Blaster. Our cat got freaked out.
Okay. So in this game, I will be showing you a series of pictures. It will be in pairs. One gun will be a real, actual firearm.
This is easy.
That actually exists in the real world.
I could easily tell this.
The other gun will be one of the blasters from Star Wars. And your job is to determine which is the real gun and which is the blaster.
Easy.
Do you think you can do that?
Easy.
Okay, well, we'll go through the gauntlet and then we will...
Will you tell me the answer right away?
No, we gotta go all the way through. And
oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Alright, let's get started. First up, just say the left or the right. Which would you think is the real gun versus the prop from the movies?
Is it like the optometry? 1 or 2? One?
We could do it that way.
Yeah, that's easier.
1 or 2?
2 looks like it's a rendering. So I'm going to say not that one. I'm going to go with... No, actually, 1 could be some... No. 1.
1 is the real gun or the fake gun?
Fake gun. 1's the Star Wars gun.
So the right one. Wait, that's the left. The left gun or the right gun?
So we could go either way.
Okay.
That one on the right, on our right, looks like it could be kind of rendered, but the other one has too much detail.
Too much detail?
Yeah,
okay.
almost to the point where I think it'd be like a Clone Wars type gun. Like the like the 3D animated shit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with that one's fake.
Okay. Round 2.
Oh, easy. That one. That one's the... Wait, no. Yeah, no, that one's the Star Wars gun.
The one on the left?
Yeah, that one's real.
The one with the wooden grip is the Star Wars gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks analog.
Is that your final answer?
I'm confident. Okay. Confident. Okay. Easy.
Top or bottom?
Top one is going to be Star Wars because there's no way a manufacturer would make something stupid like that.
That doesn't look made for human hands?
No, but by your reaction...
No, just is that your reasoning? It could be an alien gun. It could be an alien gun.
I don't believe you. I'm going to go with top one because I think that's just a dumb, fantastical way to hold a gun.
Okay, again, top or bottom?
Oh my gosh, if the top is a real gun, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the top is the fake one.
The top is the fake one.
Yeah.
Okay. Left or right? I figured this one would be a challenge because they both look a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks like it has like one of those...
Oh, like on the nozzle?
Foghorn?
Was that what you mean? Yeah. I could see that.
I think that's the fake one. It looks too shiny.
The air horn gun?
Yeah, and there's like a sheen to it that looks too, like, computerized.
Interesting.
I could be totally wrong.
Interesting rationale.
Once I get them all right, I'm just saying, I should win a prize.
Okay.
What? There's 3.
Left, middle, or right?
They all look the same. Like, the color's different.
Okay.
But
But which is the
style.
real gun, though?
This is not.
Which is the real gun, which is the blaster? They all look similar, I'll give you that. But they are 3 distinct items. What is the most realist looking gun of those 3?
I will tell you what the not realist looking gun is. Okay. That grip in the middle. That grip in the middle is, it looks blurry. So I'm gonna say that one's fake.
Middle is the fake. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of threw you for the loop with the 3. Sorry.
I'm guessing that's a 1911 with an extendo barrel.
You were just saying words.
No, I know. I know guns.
Okay.
I have shot many a guns.
These are words I have heard before.
I have heard these. I'm sure I've heard extendo.
You just see you see a handgun with a wooden grip and you just go 1911.
Yeah.
The rationale.
Yeah. The other gun looks like it's some kind of World War II gun.
What do you mean the other one?
But the
left or the right one?
The right one, our right. Looks like it'd be from World War II.
Okay.
I get vibes from that.
So you're saying the one on the right is the real gun? And the one with the wooden grip is the blaster?
I think the wooden grip is being thrown for a loop. I feel confident that the one on the right is a World War II type gun.
Okay.
I think the one on the left is a blaster.
Okay.
Left is a blaster. There's, the other one looks like a normal revolver thing.
A revolver?
Well, it has like a little... Is that not a revolver?
I don't know. It depends. Is it the real gun or is it the Star Wars blaster?
No, I already told you my answer.
Okay.
You gotta be quicker. Come on. Like, we gotta go to bed. Thing. Oh, that's a gun. No, that's a gun. That's like a 9mm Star BM. That's a Star BM.
You're literally just saying words at this point.
Do
you even know what a Star...
Yes!
What is a Star BM?
It's the surplus Spanish police force.
She does actually pay attention.
Yes! I know things. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the gun on the right is a Star BM?
Sure.
Okay.
There's no way.
1 or 2.
This is a trick.
Which is the real gun?
The left one's fake.
The left one is fake?
Left one is fake.
What is your reasoning? I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I just want to know what your reasoning is.
Stupid. Like, It looks like some redneck guy was like, I'm gonna, weld this thing in my backyard, and this is a gun.
Okay.
And the other one just looks, sleek. There's no trigger on it. So maybe it's not a blast. That may be. Okay, I'm changing my answer. That's a blaster, and that is like redneck blaster from Tatooine that someone in the desert made.
Okay. Top or bottom?
Oh no, that top one is a gun. That's like a scar or something.
A scar?
No, wait, no. No, I don't know actually.
Okay.
The bottom one I feel like I've seen, and you were like, this is like a space gun in one of the stores that we've been to that I've been there. The top one looks like one of those military guns, so it looks like a scar.
Okay.
I think it looks like an AR. I'm not confident enough about that, so...
Don't think about it too hard.
My gut tells me that the top one is meant to throw me off. So I'm gonna go with the top one is a Star Wars gun. Okay. The bottom one is an actual, like, Kel-Tec or... I don't know. I don't know if Kel-Tecs make that. There's some space gun that you told me the brand, and I've, like... It went... Boop, boop, boop. It's gone.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a very good guess. I'm very impressed.
Okay... These look very similar.
Okay.
The top one looks more futuristic. but this is Star Wars, which is like retrofuturism.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom one looks like a gun, like a real live gun.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the bottom one.
Is the real one.
Is the real one. The top one's a Star Wars gun. Are you keeping score?
I'm keeping score, and I know what the answer is.
You're mentally keeping score.
Yeah, I know what the answer is to all of these. I made the quiz,
yeah.
so. Okay.
Quiz is rigged. Is all I will say.
Okay.
They're the same thing. They're just like they look the same immediately.
I figured this one would trip you up.
I think the bottom one is a real gun. I think it's that same brand that did the other one that's like a Keltec spacey gun.
Okay. Wait, do you think it's the same ones that made this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they're the same people.
Okay.
They're like, this is the 9000 model, space model 9000, and the other one's the space model 3000.
I am telling...
Keltec, hire me.
I am telling George Kellgren you said that. Okay.
George Kellgren, hire me for your marketing.
So, the bottom gun is the real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are goofy. I mean, the left one is clearly a Star Wars blaster. That is just clearly.
What is clear about it?
It looks Star Warsy. Like it just has
the vibe.
sheen.
It has a Star Wars vibe.
It has a sheen, and like that has a little optic thing at the top, at the very end.
Okay.
And that one doesn't. I mean, it has something, but it looks stupid. Like you can't. Like, how would you shoot that? That one is like a proper.
Like the one on the left, it would fall in with Star Wars because they never actually aim. They just kind of.
Yeah, they kind of just point and shoot. That one you could see the little. I don't know what that's called.
It's called a front sight.
Oh, I should know that.
You should know this.
I took a class.
Top or bottom?
Oh, top is a Star Wars blaster all the way. There is no way. And the bottom one is like a World War II one. World War II gun. World War II.
There we go.
At this point, they all kind of blend.
Are they blending?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't see them in Star Wars. Like, where would these have fit in a Star Wars show?
It doesn't necessarily have to have been a, like, main character. It could be just a random person in the background's holding it.
Hold on. And you know the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. Pause. This is more important. You Star Wars people that are very obsessed. I respect it. I also have fandoms that I'm very obsessed with. I will not name them. You have to figure them out.
I could out you right now.
Don't out me. They have to figure it out. There is a literal Wikipedia page in the Star Wars universe for literally anything. It's insane. Like the Rat-Faced McGee guy. That's not his name. His name is...
You're kind of close.
Sinister... No.
You're closer.
Snuffle... No, it's not that. It's
Snuffleupagus?
Snitty... The rat?
Snitty the rat.
No, it's something with like SN. Anyways, you guys are insane.
Salacious B.
Salacious B. Crumb, that guy. That's insane. So when I met him and I said, "Oh yeah, I like Star Wars movies. Sure, I like Star Wars movies," and he was like, "You like Star Wars?"
It was.
And I had to like pause and be like, "Look, I like Star Wars, but not as much as you like Star Wars. You like them a lot more."
In retrospect, it was pretty cringe. All right, top or bottom?
I think the bottom one makes more sense in Star Wars, but I'm not sure at this point.
Okay. We're getting towards the end.
The left one is obviously a gun in real life.
Okay.
Obviously.
Obviously. Okay. Top or bottom?
They're so goofy. That's like what's futuristic blunderbass? You know, and then there's that one that looks. This is a trick. This is a trick one.
It's not a trick.
No, it's a trick one. The whale tail rifle.
The whale tail.
Yeah, it has a whale tail. I'm gonna go with the blunderbass is the Star Wars blaster.
Okay. All right, left or right? We can say top or bottom. And no, they're not the same guy.
They're starting to look the same. I think the top
is the blaster.
blaster.
Okay. Again, top or bottom. I think this is the last one, and then we'll tally up the score.
Am I doing well?
I can't tell you yet.
I think I'm doing well.
Okay. Top or bottom?
I don't know. I think the bottom one is a real gun, and they just added a stock.
Okay.
Butt stock.
Okay. That's the correct term.
Okay.
You're right.
Butt stock.
So you're saying the top one is the Star Wars blaster?
I never would have seen that in a Star Wars thing anywhere.
Okay.
Like that just...
So you're
neither of them fit Star Wars, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of them that don't fit.
Okay.
So I guess the top one. I'm also trying to, like, reverse psychology this.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
You're trying to get me to give it up, is what it is.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. This is true. You've got me. Okay, I'm going with top one.
This just felt appropriate for this section.
Why, are you afraid I'm going to hit you?
No? Should I be?
Always.
Actually, fun fact about the Darth Vader helmet hood. Did you know, and this is actually true, Saddam Hussein's son...
We're off to a bad start. Yay!
The FBI is going to be here in a minute. So, Saddam Hussein's son was such an avid Star Wars fan that he was in charge of a, like, special group of soldiers that were, like, his personal, like, attack dogs.
Like the Knights of Ren?
Honestly, yeah, kind of. He had custom helmets made for this special group of soldiers that were Darth Vader hoods. And they were like fiberglass ballistic helmets. How do you think you did?
I think I did amazing.
Would you like to know your score?
Yes, I would like to know my score.
Okay. They're all real. They're all real.
This is betrayal! You have betrayed me!
Got her.
You just wasted an hour of my life and I'll never get
Well, this is going to be an educational opportunity now.
God, no, I'm going to be ridiculed on the internet. Dom Broad doesn't know any guns. I see it now.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. This is not cool. No wonder. I was like, there's no way I was on to you.
You almost had me a couple of times. I was a little worried. So
Which one?
Well, let's review. So the first gun is a Sterling submachine gun. That's the gun at the top. That was used as the basis for a couple different blasters in Star Wars.
Okay.
One of them being the blasters used by the Rebels in the original trilogy, and the other being the gun used by the Stormtroopers, the E11. That's probably one of the most iconic Star Wars blasters.
Pause. Is that a blaster?
The one on the bottom is, yes.
Okay.
But it was built off of the gun on the top, which is a real gun.
That makes sense.
So that was actually an interesting fact. A lot of people know, probably, is that in the original trilogy, George Lucas bought a bunch of, like, surplus guns from World War II and just...
I caught on.
You did catch it.
I did.
And he just added a bunch of, bits and bobs to make them look spacey.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Okay.
So... that is a long-standing gun that's been used for a lot of different blasters. The other gun is also, like I said, a blaster in Star Wars. It is a real gun, but it is used by lots of side characters. Probably most notably, it shows up in The Mandalorian a couple times.
Mando.
Yep. That gun... The next gun...
1911?
That is not a 1911. It has a similar-ish grip, I suppose. No, that is a Ruger 22.
Okay.
That is most famously used by Greedo.
Greedo!
So,
he was in the Star Wars universe for like 0.5 seconds until Han killed him, because he absolutely shot first. And yet, I'm sure there's a whole backstory wiki page about him, like
what their beef was and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there absolutely is. So the next gun, also again a real gun, but probably the most iconic blaster of all because it is Han Solo's blaster. That one's a little tricky because
I'm also a fake
in a lot of spheres, I would wager to say that it's more famous as Han Solo's blaster than it is as a real gun. So that one can kind of trip people up.
Wait, so it is a real gun?
Yeah, it's a real gun.
So they used a real gun in the filming process? They didn't modify it?
Nope. If you look at some of the scenes in the original trilogy, if it's the older edits, you can actually see the shells from the blanks that they're using.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if you look real close, you can kind of see them. So the next one is an old big machine gun from World War One that they basically just took that pan off the top and were like, aha, it's a space gun now. It is most famously used by the Sand Troopers in the original trilogy. The real gun's called a Lewis gun. The Star Wars blaster is something heavy blaster rifle. This one is a bit of a deep cut. Are you checking out?
No.
Okay, we're almost done.
Okay.
So this one is probably the most obscure. It is called the Schumerly Multi-Purpose Rifle or something like that in real life. It's basically a flare gun. It is used by...
Wait!
Do you know who that is?
He's a bounty hunter.
Okay. Do you remember his name? I don't think his name is ever actually said in the movie, so...
Of course, and you know his name?
Yeah.
Let's start with...
B.
Bex Bombardier.
No? Kind of close.
What is it?
Bosk.
Bosk.
He's a Trandoshan, and he hunts Wookiees. Trandoshans hate Wookiees, and that's why...
They started...
That's why he answered the call to hunt Han Solo and company, because of Chewbacca.
He was like, hell yeah, Chewbacca time.
Exactly.
That's
the next this one was funny because you said there's no way that's a real gun. It is a real gun.
That is the stupidest gun of my life.
Well, it's a flare gun, so it shoots, kind of like a Roman candle, I guess.
Okay.
So you don't actually shoot things with it. It's more for
These are all. I cannot believe you made me sit there like an idiot and guess these I guess
I
they're not
loved
fake.
seeing your rationale, though. It was very impressive.
All right, keep going.
Okay. So this rifle, most famously used by Boba Fett. It shows up a couple other places, but it's like iconically Boba Fett's gun. This one is also very obscure. It's seen in only a couple shots in The Phantom Menace. I don't even remember what the actual blaster is called, but the real gun is called the Calico.
We're best.
So those three guns that all look the same to you.
So
this is...
I called it! You're so annoying!
So this is a little unique. One of the guns...
Are they by the same manufacturer?
No, actually, but they're all made for the same purpose. So they are all Olympic shooting pistols. So that's why they look so goofy. Yeah, it's because of the weird way that they grip their pistols.
I was wondering, that would be weird to hold.
Yeah, and I think these two are technically air rifles. The third one I showed, which actually isn't in Star Wars, shoots 22 LR. So.
Okay.
But they are used by the Palace Guards in Phantom Menace. But this is also an air gun. It's only showed up in The Mandalorian, kind of in the background. It's one of the guns in his stash. It's used by, the villagers in that one episode and the freedom fighters and stuff. So it's not super prominent, but kind of weird looking. This one was interesting because you said it was a World War II pistol, I think.
Yeah, that one.
It's not.
Oh.
It's another air gun.
Oh my gosh. Inspired by the World War II era.
Maybe, sure. But it is used by Luke Skywalker when he tries to infiltrate Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Jabba the Hutt.
So it's seen very quickly and then it is gone. So this one's another obscure one. The real gun is called the Mannlicher.
I hate that.
It was the name of the guy who invented it.
Was he German?
Yes. It is used by Lady Kira in Solo: A Star Wars
I've not
Story.
seen that one.
Is that the one you haven't seen?
No,
Okay.
I actually thought about it the other day when I was doing my nails. I was like, I need to watch
that
this.
makes sense. So this one you also said there is no way this is a real gun.
Wait, which one?
The one on the left is the real gun.
It looks very pretty. Like,
so it is a very, very unique gun that was made in the 1800s. It's one of the first like semi-automatic pistols that was ever built.
Way.
Super, super interesting gun. But it is the Mandalorian's pistol. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you pay attention to their guns?
Absolutely, I do.
That was a stupid question. That was dumb. I should not have asked that. Of course you do.
So next up, this was the Star BN that you said.
Was I right?
No, that is not a Star BN. The texture of the grip is similar to the Star BN, but no, that's not a Star BN.
It looks exactly like it.
It's an air gun. This is the Webley line of air guns. There's 4 or 5 different ones. They all look pretty much the same. They show up everywhere.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan uses one. Hera uses one in Ahsoka.
Hey.
So they show up pretty often. Usually, if you don't
But
know.
they're modded usually.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely modded.
Yeah.
But a lot
like
of times
that top one definitely looks
added onto.
Yeah, it looks Star Warsy.
Kind of a, I would say, an unspoken rule of thumb is if what the gun is not obvious, it's probably a Webley air gun. So that's what I've learned.
Me too. I go by that rule of life.
The next one is the so it was originally called the AR-7. It's now called the Charter Arms
Automatic
Explorer.
Rifle 7.
So this gun is an old Derringer pistol from like the 1800s.
Where's the trigger?
It's a ring trigger. So the whole thing is a trigger, but it's
you
also
pull, like one of those, like,
no. You just
slinkies?
put your hand in and pull it like a normal slinky.
No, like the old game.
A rubber band gun?
No. Like a toy that you pull the string. That would make sense.
Like a Beyblade?
Sure, I guess.
Okay, well no, that's not how it works.
Okay.
It's just a trigger. But it's used by the Frog Lady in season 2 of The Mandalorian. So.
Oh.
Remember with her eggs?
Yeah. Grogu ate them all.
Yeah. This gun actually made me chuckle because you said it was a hillbilly trash gun made by someone in their garage or whatever.
Am I right?
No. Okay. This was actually...
This was engineered by the finest of engineers.
It was engineered by the U.S. Army in World War II. So, this is called the FP-45 Liberator. So, it was used as like a freedom fighter gun in World War II. It was kind of a disastrous program. It didn't really work. And so, military destroyed a bunch of them. So, they're hard to find now.
Lame.
But yeah, the Mandalorian...
Just stick it through. You make a bad decision, stick it through. Don't be like the U.S. military.
Be like the British military who developed the L-85 for 40 years instead of giving up.
Don't give up. Be like the Brits. Rah, rah, rah. I'm European, so...
A almost completely unmodified Liberator pistol shows up in Book of Boba Fett as like one of the Mandalorian's random stash guns.
Wow.
So,
I definitely missed that.
Yeah. This is a machine gun, a German machine gun from World War II that is almost completely...
They kept the same.
Completely unmodified, and it's just a random stormtrooper rifle. It shows up a lot. So this is another flare gun, and it is Boba Fett's pistol in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Wrap this up. Let me just tell you about a couple more guns that were real guns used as blasters, because I think it's funny.
Okay.
So,
We never talked about the blunderbuss one.
Oh, that was just a gun. So not all of the guns I showed you were in Star Wars.
Oh.
They were just all real guns.
Okay, but that one gun, I was right. You showed it to me.
A blunderbuss, but that was a really good guess.
Wouldn't you know, guys? I don't know what a blunderbuss is.
Grenade launcher. So, but it did look very blunderbuss-like. So that was a really good guess.
You know how I know those things?
How?
From the hit game, the Pirates of the Caribbean game online. I was not allowed to play it, but I still played it. And of course, I never asked my parents to let me have the
Babe, they said ask an adult.
Yeah, I was a rebel. And I love that game. I would play that game. That in Toontown. In Pixie Hollow.
You haven't played Toontown in a while.
Do not out me, man!
Okay. So, the Lee Enfield rifle, which is a British rifle, was used as the little shock rifles used by the Jawas.
Aww.
So,
It's so appropriate. It's so them.
How is that appropriate?
It just makes sense. It fits.
Okay.
It fits. They're cute.
So, the Tusken Raiders, they're...
It's like that!
You're right.
I'm right?
Yeah. So, the Tusken Raiders cycler rifles are designed off of old Ottoman and Moroccan muskets, such as this. I talked about this gun in the Weird Gun Iceberg.
Already?
Yes.
Part.
You don't watch my videos.
3.
Don't watch my videos.
It's 3.
Because honestly, some of the guns that I showed you have been in my Iceberg videos. So that was also a test, and you failed. But it's okay. You don't really...
No, that's not true. I do watch them.
She does watch them.
I do watch them, but they kind of just...
It's a lot of information. It kind of... Well, that's fair. So this is the Luger P08. This is the one on the left. Luger.
Not Ruger?
Luger, not Ruger.
You're pulling my chain.
I'm not.
You tell me there's another Ugers?
Yes. Luger was first.
Okay.
You know 9mm.
I have never in my life ever heard of a Luger. I've heard of a Ruger, even like outside of you.
So you know the 9mm round?
Oh yeah, the dude.
9 Luger, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Because of that pistol. So this is the P08 Luger. It was the first gun to ever use 9mm Luger. That's where the name comes from. Mm-hmm. So it is Jyn Erso's gun from Rogue One.
Oh.
So
okay.
There's actually a company that builds conversion kits to make it that way.
Jyn Erso.
Mm-hmm. Which is weird because P08s are really hard to find. So I suppose you could use on an airsoft gun. Anyway.
Fair.
This one is also really funny. So
that looks like a Glock.
That is not a Glock.
Okay.
This is a Sig Sauer pistol.
Oh!
You've probably heard of.
Yes,
My dad has one.
I
think your dad has one too.
We saw them yesterday. Yeah, my dad has.
You're right, we did.
You know what? The next time we do this, we're gonna do like some insane, I don't know.
And I will clean the board.
I don't think you will.
Okay, well, these are the pistols used by the Resistance. So this is a Glock.
Which one?
The one on the right is a Glock. The Glock is the pistol used by the First Order in the sequel trilogy. All it is a Glock in a conversion kit without the stuff on it. So there you go. Well, this is the G36 rifle. Couple months ago, we were at a gun store and they had the SL8, which is the like civilian version. Me and you? Yeah. That was the space gun that I was telling you about at the gun store. Anyway, that is the rifle used by the Resistance in the sequel trilogy.
Hey, yeah. I remember him carrying a gun when I watched it 2 days ago.
This gun, I think, is kind of not really fair because it's technically not in the movie. I think it was cut out.
Oh no, this whole game was not fair. Let me, this was not cool.
I mean, yeah. So it is built off of the MP40 submachine gun, which was like the standard submachine gun of the Germans in World War II.
Okay.
But it is a Director Krennic's pistol in Rogue One.
I love his voice.
I don't think you ever actually see him
shoot it
with it in the movie. I think this was just like production stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it never actually shows up.
But then again, it doesn't matter if it's in the movie or not because you guys will make a Wikipedia page about it.
You're not wrong.
Okay, yes. Wait, that one was hard. That one I was like, these are both real guns. Like,
show you these.
Oh.
So the Top Gun is the STG-44, widely considered to be the first official assault rifle. It was also another German World War II rifle. It was used as the blaster rifle for the rebellion in the original trilogy.
Okay.
So it most famously shows up in the Hoth battle.
Hey.
But in the newer stuff like The Mandalorian and other things, it's built off of an AR-15 now. So
automatic rifle 15, assault rifle 15.
Correct. Yes. What's the 15 mean?
It has 15 points of contact at once in 15 seconds, assaulting people with a rifle.
You got it. Nailed it.
I know. Wait, no, you have this one.
I do not have one of these.
You wish you had it though.
I absolutely do.
I know, that was easy. That's a given. Is this, I want to guess, is this a military gun?
Hmm?
I think it's an AR.
It's not an AR.
Okay, it's not an AR. It definitely has a buttstock. Or a...
Oh.
Is that...
It's a rifle that has a buttstock.
No, it looks
the defining feature of a rifle.
Hold on. Let me defend myself. It looks like the triangle part. Like in my head, I don't even see the triangle part. I just see like it looks like an elongated handgun. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Is this an MP4?
No.
What's the letter? First letter.
A.
Is it a word or a
You are Romanian. You should know this.
Hold on, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's Russian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
You're getting there.
This is so annoying. I know this. What's the second letter?
That would give it away. It's literally 2 letters. It's A blank.
You have half the letters and you still can't get them. Okay, hold on.
It's 26.
AK-47. Oh my gosh.
Took
Wow.
way too long.
Wow.
So that is a 9mm like submachine gun version of the AK-47.
Okay.
The blaster rifle from Star Wars is called the, very creative here, KA-74.
That's funny.
It is used by Cobb Vanth in The Mandalorian.
But people can also use the AK without the buttstock.
Yeah, it can fold.
Okay.
You're right.
My brain was, man.
They call those Draco pistols.
Okay, yes, I remember this. This is coming back to me.
Good job. I'm proud.
Coming back.
So last gun we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
This is an old target match gun.
And that's the extent, they added an extension for their...
Yeah, this one was basically unchanged except for the muzzle.
Yeah, you could tell. It's just...
But this is Princess Leia's pistol. So,
Leia.
Very sleek and...
very, like, princessy.
Very demure. Is that outdated? Is demure still relevant?
I mean, it's...
Very demure.
It's still in the English lexicon.
Okay, there you go. Whatever.
So
how do you feel about your Star Wars and gun knowledge now? Do you feel educated?
No.
Okay. Did you have fun?
Yes.
I had fun. This was fun.
And not because I wouldn't have learned from you in your videos, more so that I have the big EP. I do like Star Wars, okay? I'm casual.
Maybe not as casual as you think, because what did we do at our wedding?
Yes, we had a Star Wars battle, and I'm assuming you're going to insert a clip here.
Well, everybody, thank you all for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I know it was a bit of a disaster, but certainly not on your part. You did great.
Thanks.
Let us know in the comments what your favorite Star Wars blaster is and which ones we missed and should have talked about. And maybe we'll do something with that later.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.